But yeah, if you ever go to a Jamaican restaurant and they serve alcohol, ask if they do a Wray and Ting.
Okay.
Because if they bring out the real Ting, and generally what you do is
if they bring out the real Ting.
So now that we've toured around Jamaica to different rums, the pot still rums and the blended rums and the aged rums, it's time to see what we can actually do with them. So first off, I thought I'd go with something really simple that's supposed to be a very common cocktail in Jamaica, using white overproof pot still, unaged white overproof pot still rum, which would be the Wray and Nephew down there. So what's the proof say on that, Ray?
It says full strength, 63% alcohol.
Yes, so this is heavy duty stuff. So you can drink it by itself, but that's not the best way to do it. But just so you get a sense.
It is a little funky.
So just so you get a sense of what happens when you put this into a simple cocktail, here's a little sample of the Wray and Nephew by itself.
Okay.
Bottoms up. So very harsh because it's unaged. It's clear. It hasn't been aged in a barrel long enough to pick up any color. It's a pretty pure alcohol.
Yeah.
It's like a...
Not a bad flavor.
It kind of reminds me of the Dr. Bird.
There is something of that, yes. The Dr. Bird's got some aging and coloration to it.
Yeah, the notes are there, but this is definitely stronger.
Oh, yeah.
Now, a common cocktail in Jamaica is to take Ting, which is a grapefruit soda, which I can't get a hold of that here. So I used a simple grapefruit soda that I can get at Whole Foods, and mixed, it's give or take about 1.5 ounces of the Wray and Nephew, mixed with about 4 ounces of grapefruit soda, and a good squeeze of lime in it. In a tall glass with cracked ice and a good swirl to it. So
would
that
this
would be this
considered a tiki drink?
I would not call it a tiki drink. I would consider it a rum drink.
Okay.
But there are tiki bars that will serve it to you.
Now, what is the name of this drink?
A Wray and Ting is what it's normally
Wray and
known as,
Ting.
but I don't have Ting, so think of it as an unaged white overproof rum and soda, grapefruit soda.
Okay.
Woo!
That's strong.
It might need a little bit of a stir because they had to sit for a moment before I could bring them out. Sorry. But
Refreshing.
for me, it makes a very refreshing cocktail compared to a very, very strong rum.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is a lighter. It's definitely lighter, but it is kind of strong.
It's definitely strong.
So yeah, this is something you could
A couple
drink
of those
out.
would make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, but you could drink this out in the sun in Jamaica.
For sure.
Yeah, it actually, for some weird reason, reminds me of what's the drink from Brazil? The Caprina?
Caparina?
Yeah.
Caparina.
It kind of reminds me of that in a weird way.
Mm-hmm. But just a quick, refreshing drink that you can make with a rum that's otherwise not quite so friendly to the palate. So next, we're going to go to a version of the Planter's Punch. Now, the Planter's Punch, once again, the sing-song rhyme. You got 1 of sour, 2 of sweet, 3 of strong, and 4 of weak. Well, when Don Beach started making them, or Ernest Raymond Beaumont Gant there, instead of using water, he used crushed ice and a stick blender, those were both, fairly new things to be including in cocktails. So rather than water, we've got the ice, so it's chilling it down and it's diluting in a different way. Now, Don Beach started adding more and more things to his, and they got more and more complicated and grew into their own recipes. But there's a very notable collector of rums in the New Orleans area, a guy named Stephen Remsburg. And I found a recipe for a Remsburg Planter's Punch where he uses 3 ounces of Caruba. Let me just double check this. Yeah, about 3/4 of an ounce of lime and 1 ounce of sugar simple and a few shots of Angostura bitters.
Okay.
So I mixed that up and I split it 3 ways so it wouldn't be too much. Give it a little stir just in case because it did have to sit for a moment.
Let me do that.
Actually, we should probably taste it by itself first. That was the plan. So before you sip that, Ray, I know you can't wait, buddy. So here's the Caruba by itself. Caruba is a dark blended rum from Jamaica. It's a workhorse in the Tiki community. It's much beloved.
Very flavorful aroma.
Now, again, I wouldn't really... This isn't really like a sipping rum.
No, definitely not.
No, I generally would consider it a mixing rum.
Yep, totally.
But when I saw the Remsburg's Planter's Punch that it called for Caruba, I thought I'd give it a shot. This is honestly the first time I've made one.
So what makes a Planter's Punch again?
So once again, you've got your sour, your sweet, your strong, and your weak. So in this case, your strong is going to be that Caruba rum. Mm-hmm. Your sour is going to be lime. So you got about 1 ounce of lime, but I split this 3 ways. And then actually about 3/4 of an ounce of lime in this one. and I only used an ounce of simple syrup, one simple.
Okay. Oh, that's also very refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a good back porch on a summer's day cocktail. I like
But
that.
the Karuba is not an overpowering
No, not at all.
rum, but you add that to it, and it's a good combination of characteristics.
I definitely taste it. I get the flavor, but it's not overpowering at all.
It's very good. I usually make these planter punches at home. Actually, they're a real simple drink compared to like the other Don. Was it the Don the Beachcomber version of the Planters Punch? But yeah,
Right.
It's a really great drink, and it's like the main rum you are using is the Karuba.
And then, of course, we have the Mai Tai.
Yeah.
Because the Mai Tai, its history goes back, well, so the 1944 Mai Tai is the one that we know the best. And that's the one that was created by Victor Bergeron, Trader Vic. And supposedly he had friends visiting from Tahiti. He used some Wray, and I think it was a Wray and Nephew 17 year. And I can't remember what else he had in there. Anyway, some dry orange curacao and orgeat, which is an almond syrup. Mm-hmm. And when his friends tasted it, they proclaimed, what was it, Mai Tai Roa E, something to that effect, which translates to out of this world, the best.
Okay.
So that's how it got its name. Now, there is a legend, and some people claim to have disproved it, other people still swear by it, that when Trader Vic was making the Mai Tai, what he was trying to do was recreate a flavor profile from a drink from Don Beach called the QB Cooler. So that also used gold Jamaican rum rather than aged Jamaican rum.
Okay.
But
Although the ingredients for the two drinks are completely different.
they are very different, but there's still a little taste of orange, a little taste of, yeah. So for this one, I used an ounce each of the Karuba and the Denizen rum, which was something that was created a few years back, well, several years back now, to try and reformulate an amber Martinique rum that was traditionally used in the cocktail.
Okay. So that's not an agricole, though.
No, it's a non-agricole Martinique rum.
Okay.
And that also has dry orange curacao, orgeat, and in this case we're using rich Demerara syrup, which is a 2-to-1 using a turbinado or Demerara style sugar.
Okay.
And that is a 44 Mai Tai.
Delicious.
That is it.
That is fantastic.
And aside from the lime juice, the lime is normally supposed to be in there looking somewhat like an island.
Mm-hmm.
And your mint is supposed to fill your nose and also kind of remind you of palm trees.
I get that for sure. That's delicious. That's a very good drink.
And this is the rum blend that I use to make my Mai Tais at home. An ounce of the Karuba, an ounce of the Denizen.
All right.
That is what I use. And this is a true 44.
Okay.
So if you want to know what a 44 Mai Tai tastes like, this is
This
it.
is what it is.
Yep.
All right.
Hey gang, we'll get back to the Tiki conversation here in just a second, but I want to let y'all know they have t-shirts for sale. They are screen printed in America. The artist is Tony Canepa, and they're going for $20 a piece, $25 including shipping. If you're interested in buying one, go to my website, tikiwithray.com, and then there's a tab that says buy a t-shirt. Click on there and just follow the prompts. So thank you very much. And let's get back to the Tiki conversation now. Yeah, and as we said before, the Jamaican rums, they're not so much sipper rums by themselves. The 12-year,
Yes.
but the Appleton would be. But these are all rums that you use to make drinks with.
To add a layered flavor component in your cocktail.
Mm-hmm. And like, you just like with the Karuba, by itself, it's like, okay. But in the Planter's Punch,
As a part of the whole, yeah.
And seriously, like the Karuba in the Mai Tai, oh my god. Because I've had it with Myers, I've had it with, even Goslings didn't even seem to work too well.
The Karuba makes a difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so the Jamaican rums are a very, very big part of the Tiki cocktail equation.
So anyway, for everyone out there, welcome to Rum. Don't be afraid to try different things. Read the labels, do a little research, find out what suits you. But make sure you enjoy it.
Mahalo.
Aloha, mahalo, all that.
What are you looking at me for? Like, it's like
I thought you'd have something to say, Ray, but I guess after umpteen shots and a couple of cocktails.
Well, I mean, you said exactly what needs to be said. You're like, well, don't be afraid to try things, read the labels, da-da-da-da-da. I'm kind of like, yeah, it makes sense. I have nothing more to add on top of that. And don't forget to tip your bartenders.
This got more elaborate than I thought it was going to get. This was a lot of work.
What's that?
Just putting these drinks together.
Just putting together the shots, talking about them, and putting together the drinks. This was a lot today.
Good thing we have a cocktail at the end of it to,
Jason,
to
you're
help
just
you
being
relax.
lazy.
Yeah, my kitchen's a wreck, Ray.
Now you know how someone's mother feels during Thanksgiving.
Pretty much. What is this, Drunksgiving?
Yeah, that's what we should have called this series, Drunksgiving.
And they would normally bring you out the shot, like an 1.5 ounce shot,
Pour it in.
and a glass or a bottle of Ting,
Okay.
and then you would make it
You do it yourself?
Right.
All right.
Because they're too lazy to make it for you.
Well, it's because some people want it stronger than others.
Hey, we'll get this right. Well, have them make their own cocktails, and then we'll charge them for it.